poets in the house. My good friend and also inspiration, Mike the poet, aka Mike Sonksen, is going to get up here and bless the mic. Right?
Yeah.
So without further ado, Mike the poet, and he also has a spoken word CD out called I Am Alive in Los Angeles, and he's really putting it down and showing you how to live in the city of angels.
Here's to Nicole. Can we give it up for this book? Nicole's happy birthday in the book, all in one. It's all. But this is a big accomplishment. Great painting too, huh? Damn.
That's the artist Lily again.
Where's Lily? Hey Lily. Lily, good piece. Good piece. Oh, we're very sincere here. Yeah. How you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, we're gonna start off with this poem is called LA Authors, to dedicate to one of the greatest young up-and-coming LA authors, Nicole D. Sconiers. Is it the sunshine or the catastrophes, flash floods of the traffic? Something about Los Angeles makes music, makes magic. The muse of Los Angeles makes artists get active. Behold the lore of LA authors, behold. Who's rocking the populace in the postmodern metropolis? LA authors. Starting with Charles Fletcher Loomis, sunshine looms large in literary Los Angeles. From the myth of Ramona, Pueblos, California ranchos, orange groves, and the Arroyo Seco, expatriate artists of the 1890s brought the first sunshine wave of LA authors. And the boosters blew the trumpets on the Golden State's landscape. Sung for 300 days, a cure for old age. Find a fountain of youth in Los Angeles. Hyped up pamphlets let the world know the land of the sunshine, the new Eden, it was manifest destiny. But it wasn't heaven for everybody. Besides the boosters, there was the bunker socialists, expatriate poets, leftist screenwriters, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Louis Ademic, and Jake Ziegler. And Nathaniel West was one of the best, the City in Flames and the Day of the Locust. The underground intelligentsia of artists and authors lived in Echo Park bungalows. McCarthy called it Red Hill, and Sinclair yelled, oil! Behold the lore of LA authors, behold! Chandler and Kane were kings of writing noir detective novels in the lost streets of Bunker Hill, where Fonte celebrates staircase fire escapes and lost love. And long before Rodney King, there was the Zoot Suit riots. The LAPD and the Navy fools fought with the Pachucos in the Sleepy Lagoon. And Carrie McWilliams knew the deal. It was fire factories in the fields. Palm trees are swaying in the wind as the sunset begins. It's twilight on Franklin, and what makes Sammy run? Is it the architectural illusion, Hollywood tycoons in the American dream? Robinson, Jeffers, Langston Hughes. If he hollers, let him go. Get your jazz on Central Avenue. Ray Bradbury wrote Martian Chronicles. L. Ron Hubbard wrote science fiction into Scientology. And Charles Bukowski, staying in single-room occupancies, wrote sublime poetry about the plight of the modern man with a beer can in his hands. Venice beats off of Abikini, and every time I'm in Venice, Jim Morrison speaks to me. Behold the lore of LA authors, behold! Rocking like rockabilly car clubs, the Carpenters, the Beach Boys, Grease, disco, and roller skating. Singer-songwriters in Laurel Canyon like James Taylor and Joni Mitchell sang the real deal in the Hollywood Hills, basking above Babylon and hedonism before hippie folk maidens became pop rock musicians. And now we're rocking the Rainbow Room like Led Zeppelin, selling platinum, Radio Free Hollywood, Hotel California, the Doobie Brothers. Play that funky music, white boy. Behold the lore of LA authors, behold. Bret Easton Ellis tells us about the gilded youth snorting white rails in Beverly Hills. Lesson Zero, Walter Mosley and Easy Rollins, The Devil in the Blue Dress, and Little Richard. And Barry White grew up near Willowbrook. And Motown came out west with the Jacksons, and Louis McAdams dug miles. He wrote The Verb was Cool, and James Ellroy kept LA confidential. The Black Dahlia, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Magical Realism, Hunter S. Thompson's New Journalism. We're south of no north in the city of courts, reeling in the ears in the ecology of fear. Mike Davis and Magical Urbanism hit like Young Gideon's White Album. Thomas Pynchon to Luis Rodriguez, Linnell George to Ruben Martinez, Wanda Coleman to Exene Cervenka. Check out the LA Sound Selectors. Punk rock, pop, underground poets, urban planners, Klein, Soji, Jello Biafra, Rollins, Ellen Mabey, and spoken word artists talk Trails Blazing, and Paul Evangelisti, John Thomas, Lawrence Lipton, and the Holy Barbarians, Stuart Perkoff, and words of raising roofs like the Conga Room, A Mike and Dim Lights, Beyond Baroque. Ginsberg got naked, folks. Welcome to the West Coast Poetry and Jazz Festival. The truth is stranger than fiction. It's surreal living in these conditions. William Gibson, science fiction. Cyberpunks on super expressways, ghetto copters every day. Hollywood loves the apocalypse. The coast is toast. Earthquakes, flash floods, El Nino, Armageddon, busted bridges. Waves are crashing on the edge of the continent. The city in flames. There's at another day in paradise. Is it sunshine in New Orleans? Baywatch or Blade Runner? Stay tuned for another long, hot summer. Santa Ana warm winds keep blowing and our creative juices keep flowing and the list of our LA authors keeps growing. LA authors are making music loud like Sunset Strip, rock and roll to soul. Towards Van Halen, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Ice Cube, NWA, Dr. Dre, Pharcyde, Snoop Dogg, Freestyle Fellowship, Hip Hop, Metal, bedroom producers, turntablists, and poets. Behold the Lord of LA authors. Behold the Lord of LA authors. Behold the Lord of LA authors. Who's rocking the populace in the postmodern metropolis? Nicole D. Sconiers.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Excellent, Mike. Excellent.
Happy birthday to Nicole. Man, really though, I do quite a bit of journalism here and there too, in between poetry and journalism, and I read a lot of writers, and word for word, nobody writes like Nicole. As a poet, a screenwriter, short stories, journalism, Nicole, word for word, genuinely is like one of the best young writers in LA, period, straight up. And man, seriously, that's why we had to start with the LA authors. But I brought a couple of friends of mine with me, and my buddy here is going to do a poem as well. My man Phil Harmonic, this is my longtime friend, guys. Phil Harmonic. Yeah.
All right, before we get started, it's once again we have to extend. We're here because of Nicole, so happy birthday to you. So once again, we'll beat it. I've seen the best minds of my generation. I've seen the best minds of my generation. I've seen the best minds of my generation. Tell him, Mike, come on real quick.
I've seen the best minds of my generation kicking glorious incantations, retracing the birth of the American avant-garde back to the days of playing bebop jazz at the Village Vanguard.
I've seen the best minds of my generation, and like my man Mike says, we are diggable planets dug by the rhythm. We do as Rakim says, let the rhythm hit 'em. In the nocturnal now, you can ask when, why, where, how, cause it's sacred to be naked to these falling stars of wonder like Stevie, seaweed. Harmony, 555 soul, 7 times told in a boom bap original rap. Hands clap, cut like the chemist from downtown to Venice. But this is alchemy. We came to shape new formulations of spirit and song. Moving strong for the meek who inherit the earth as a mother with family trees deeper than the roots. I shall proceed against all odds to find the truth. I'm not a Minnesota Viking. I'm an Egyptian hot rod amplified like amps. 10 times 10 sitting on percent when we invent, leave dents like catastrophes. Or pictures naked like Spike Lee. You see, this is freedom. This is not a backyard brawl. More like a 10-yard fight. Common virtues, resurrected rights. Off the range of airtight insight becomes verbal show and tell, we the addicts. Stepping through Baywatch like a Sasquatch, turning the cycles of the seasons into rains that fall. You better believe.